Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Divedi, and in this segment we bring to you questions which are important from the point of view of prelims. So let's begin with our practice question from the last segment. Nikshay and Saksham project is related to A. Tuberculosis, B. Education, C. Environment, or D. MSME sector. I hope you have answered it correctly in the comment segment. It's A. Tuberculosis. So let's look at the explanation. National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, to align with the ambitious goal, the program has been renamed and revised from National Tuberculosis Control Program to National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, and India is committed to eliminating tuberculosis by the year 2025, much ahead of the WHO deadline, that is 2030. Then comes the Nikshay ecosystem. It is the National TB Information System, which is a one-stop solution to manage information of patient and monitor programs, activity and performance throughout the economy. When we talk about Nikshay Poshan Yojana, this scheme is aimed to provide financial aid to the TB patients for their nutrition. TB Harega, Desh Jeetega campaign, which was launched in September 2019. It is showcasing the highest level of commitment for the elimination of TB by the Indian government. The Saksham project, it is the project which was launched with the help of Tata Institute of Social Sciences that has been providing psychosocial counseling to DRTB patient. The Government of India has partnered with the Global Fund to launch JEET, or Joint Effort for Elimination of TB, which is a private sector engagement program that is operating across the country. Look at the next question. Which of the following is our founding members of Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation? India, New Zealand, Philippines, Hong Kong, Mexico. Select the correct answer using code given below. A. 1, 2 and 4 only. B. 1, 3, 4 and 5 only. C. 2 and 3 only. Or D. 2, 4 and 5 only. So I hope you have answered it correctly. Correct answer is C, 2 and 3 only, that is New Zealand as well as Philippines. If we talk about Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, it was established in the year 1989 with 21 members, and India is not a member. And if we talk about the member nations, the founding members are Australia, Brunei, Darussalam, Canada, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand as well as United States. China, Hong Kong joined in the year 1991, and Mexico and Papua New Guinea joined in the year 1993. Chile joined in the year 1994, and in the year 1998, Peru, Russia as well as Vietnam joined it. APEC is the premier Asia Pacific Cooperation Economic Forum. Primary goal of APEC is to support sustainable economic growth and prosperity in the Asia Pacific region. The 21 member economies are home to around 2.8 billion people and approximately 59% of the world GDP and 49% of the world trade in the year 2015. India has requested membership in APEC and received initial support from United States, Japan, Australia and PNG as well. Officials have decided not to allow India to join, as India does not share border with the Pacific Ocean as the other member nations do. Now look at the next question. Which of the following countries border Saudi Arabia? Now this question has been asked in the light of the recently convened G20 summit under the presidentship of Saudi Arabia. Iraq, Yemen, UAE and Iran. Select the correct answer using code given below. A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1, 3 and 4 only. D. 1, 2 and 3 only. So I hope you have answered it correctly. It's D. 1, 2 and 3 only. That means it shares its borders with Iraq, Yemen as well as UAE. Now we look at the explanation with the help of a map. See, this is Saudi Arabia and it shares its borders with Jordan, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Yemen, and it also shares its borders with Red Sea and Gulf of Aqaba in the west. I hope this is very clear to you. Now, look at the next question. Consider the following statements. First, the West Bank is located between Israel and Jordan. Second, Israel, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain are parties to Abraham Accords, which were recently signed. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, D. neither 1 nor 2. I hope you have answered it correctly. It's C. That means both 1 and 2 statements are correct. Let's look at the explanation. The West Bank is sandwiched between Israel and Jordan, and the most important city of West Bank is Ramallah, and this entire region that you see has been overtaken by Israel in the war of 1967. Now let's move forward and talk about the Abraham Accords. Recently, the Abraham Accord was signed among the Israel, the United Arab Emirates as well as Bahrain, and it was mediated by the USA. It is the first Arab-Israel peace deal in 26 years. As per the agreement, the UAE as well as Bahrain can have their embassies and exchange ambassadors. They will also work together with Israel at a range of sectors including tourism, trade, healthcare as well as security. The Abraham Accords also open the doors for Muslims around the world to visit the historical site in Israel and to peacefully pray at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holiest place for Muslims, and it is third in line after Mecca and Medina. And then comes Al-Aqsa Mosque. So, significance of this agreement is as such that all the Arab countries are gradually decoupling themselves with the Palestinian question. Alright. Now, look at this next question. With reference to the system of air quality and weather forecasting and research, or SAFAR, consider the following statements. First, it is under the aegis of Ministry of Earth Sciences. Second, the system is developed with the help of the USA by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Select the correct answer using code given below. A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, D. neither 1 nor 2. I hope you have answered it correctly, and of course this question has been asked in the light of the deteriorating air quality in the Delhi and the NCR region. The correct answer for this is A, that is 1 only. Now look at the explanation. The system of air quality as well as weather forecasting and research is a national initiative introduced by the Ministry of Earth Sciences to measure the air quality of the metropolitan city. Hence statement 1 is correct. The system is indigenously developed by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and is operationalized by the Indian Meteorological Department. Hence statement 2 is not correct. It has a giant true LED color display, and that gives out real-time air quality index on a 24/7 basis with color coding. SAFAR is an integral part of India's first air quality early warning system, which is operational in Delhi, and it monitors all weather parameters like temperature, rainfall, humidity, wind speed and wind direction, as well as UV and solar radiation. Pollutants monitored under it are PM 2.5 particulate matter, 2.5 particulate matter 10, ozone, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide, as well as benzene, toluene, xylene, as well as mercury. The World Meteorological Organization has recognized SAFAR as a prototype activity on the basis of high quality control as well as standards maintained in its implementation. Now move on to the next question. Consider the following statements. First, a moratorium provides customers extra time to repay loans without their accounts being labeled as non-performing assets. Second, a bad bank is an asset reconstruction company that buys NPAs from the commercial banks at a discount. Now, this question has been asked because of the Lakshmi Vilas Bank being placed under the moratorium by the RBI. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, D. neither 1 nor 2. So I hope you have answered it correctly in your minds. The correct explanation is C, both 1 and 2. Let's move on to the explanation. Moratorium on repayment of loans. Now, a moratorium provides stressed customers extra time to pay back their loans without their accounts being labeled as the NPA, or it doesn't also affect their credit score. It is not a loan waiver and does not offer any sort of discount on interest payout. A bad bank is technically an asset reconstruction company that buys bad or non-performing assets from the commercial banks at a discount, all right, and then restructure the loan. It tries to recover the money from the defaulter by providing a systematic solution over a period of time. So why do NPAs occur? NPAs occur due to bad lending practices and not judicious lending practices, due to competition from NBFCs as well, and incremental components are also there, overhang components such as environmental crisis and other sort of crises. Let's move on to the next question. The willow warbler recently seen in news is related to A. Longest migrating small birds recently spotted for the first time in India. B. India's AI supercomputer. C. Computer program infected a computer or virus. D. Largest reptiles got extinct 2000 years ago. So I hope you have answered it correctly. It's A, which is longest migrating small birds recently spotted for the first time in India. So a willow warbler or Phylloscopus trochilus, one of the longest migrating birds, small birds that breeds throughout the northern and temperate Europe and the Palearctic, has been sighted for the first time in Panchakari, that is in Trivandrum in Kerala. Now if we talk about what is Palearctic, Palearctic is a region with Eurasia, north of Himalayas, Eurasian area, North Africa, also temperate zone of Arabian Peninsula. So this entire realm is known as Palearctic. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, Manrega scheme. Manrega guarantees 100 days of unskilled manual work to all rural households in India. Second, it is to be implemented mainly by Gram Panchayats with the help of contractors. Third, the work is usually on projects to build durable assets like roads, canals, ponds and wells. Think it through. So I hope you have answered it correctly. Let's look at the statements, the options. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A, 1 and 2 only, B, 3 only, C, 1 and 3 only, and D, 2 and 3 only. Look at the question again. So moving on, I hope you have answered it correctly. It's C, that is 1 and 3 only. Now let's move on to the explanation. Manrega is the largest social security scheme in the world, guaranteeing 100 days of unskilled manual work to all rural households whose adults are in need of work. The work is usually on projects to build durable assets like roads, wells, canals and ponds. The Act stipulates a minimum wage material in the ratio of 60:40. Manrega is to be implemented mainly by the Gram Panchayats and involvement of contractors under this is banned. Now look at the next question. The term laicity recently seen in news is associated with A. COVID-19 vaccine in trial stage, B. NASA's exoplanet mission, C. Secularism in France, or D. Recently included Ramsar site from India. I hope you have answered it correctly. The correct answer is C, that is secularism in France. Let's move on to the explanation. Laicity is a French word used for secularism, right? And it derives from the French term for laity, non-clergy or lay people. Broadly, the idea refers to the freedom of citizens and of public from the influence of organized religion because of the volatility that has been caused in the France. Let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to the International Seabed Authority. 1. The International Seabed Authority is an autonomous international organization established under the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Laws of Sea. Second, India is a member of the Council of ISA. I hope you have thought about the statements correctly. Look at the options. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, D, neither 1 nor 2. For your convenience, I am going back to the question. Look at the question again. Now I hope you have answered it correctly. So the correct answer for this question is C, that is both 1 and 2. Both of these statements are correct. Now let's move on to the explanation. The International Seabed Authority is an autonomous international organization established under the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Laws of the Sea and the 1994 Agreement relating to the implementation of Part 11 of the UNCLOS. ISA is the organization through which state parties to the UNCLOS organize and control all mineral resources related to the activities in the area for benefit of mankind as a whole. Also, in doing so, ISA has the mandate to ensure the effective protection of the marine environment from harmful effects that may arise from deep seabed related activities and exploration as well. ISA, which has its headquarters in Kingston, Jamaica, came into existence on 16 November 1994. The authority obtained the observer status of the United Nations in October 1996. The Government of India signs exploration contracts with the International Seabed Authority. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Now, look at the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to Chhath Puja. First, the goddess who is worshipped during the famous Chhath Puja is known as Usha, wife of the sun god. Second, the festival is observed most elaborately in the region of Nepal, Indian states of Bihar, Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, D, neither 1 nor 2. I hope you have answered it correctly as the ongoing Chhath Puja is there. So, the correct answer for this question is C, that is both 1 and 2. Let's move on to the explanation. Chhath is the Hindu festival related to the sun god and his wife Usha in order to thank them for bestowing bounties of life on earth. The goddess who is worshipped during the famous Chhath Puja is known as Chhati Maiya, also known as Usha, the wife of the sun god. The festival is observed most elaborately in the Mithila province of Nepal, Terai Madhyesh region of Nepal, Indian states of Bihar as well as Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh. It is also more prevalent in areas where migrants from such states are residing in. Now, look at the practice question for our next session. Juice jacking recently seen in news is related to A, cyber attack which alters the communication between two users, B, cyber attack during the mobile charging process, C, cyber attack through a disguised email, D, none of the above. So I hope you will be able to answer it correctly. That's it for today. Tomorrow I am going to turn up with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.